Well, ladies and gents, as you can see, the small wheel class is out on their prologue this morning, which is awesome to see. And what a great day we've got down here today, Wade, for the 2019 Penrite Oils Hattah Desert Race here this year. Awesome day.
How good's the weather? I mean, last balmy for a little bit there, John. Conditions obviously are much better than we're used to from last year. It was a whole lot more chilly. Looks like we got that same problem with two mics from yesterday. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Clear cloud in the sky, quite warm today, and no rain today, but maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, you did right. Last year it was a lot cooler, and the wind was like razor blades coming through. It was unbelievable. But yeah, right, it's a beautiful day. It's going to hold the subsoil pretty nicely today for the junior guys here, and I think we're looking for some really fast times out of our senior guys today a little later on this morning. And don't be surprised if some of the numbers from last year tumble a little bit. I'm preparing to, I suppose, speculate on.
Well, I mean, Kenny Reid came in before on that awesome Polaris and said it's so grippy out there. So he immediately made that call. I love the families that get behind these kids as well. And I was thinking about it. You know, you hear the term soccer mum a lot, right? Who, you know, they're the frantic cheerers and the ones that get involved. They're nowhere near as badass as motocross mums, are they? I mean, Hattah Desert Race mums are just hardcore. They just live it. They're involved the whole bit. Dad's usually out there making the bike work, and mum is right behind them.
Yeah, you're right. And it's great to see because, you know, those junior kids go on to be seniors and they bring their own families up in the same vein. And, I mean, we see it year on year. It's just awesome.
I mean, that's the thing that struck me last year about this. When you drive down that road towards the joint, there's nothing out here, and all of a sudden there's a city that's literally been created, and there's just so many families around. And I'd forgotten how cool your pit system is. You know, how they literally come in, right in. They've got their little drain there with the soak-up pads as well. It's just an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, and of course, it's something that we've been pushing for quite some time because it's about sustaining the race, and the only way you do it is to follow rules. And unfortunately in life, we all have rules. But they're the rules for the right things, you know, and that's why we have such a great event that we have here now. And you've got to remember, we're on private property, you know, so these people that own this property and the property surrounding are all involved with the event. They want it to be successful, and by them connecting and being part of it means that we can sustain it and do that way. Without it, it's nothing. So consider it when you're actually eating something or drinking something. Make sure you put the rubbish in the bins. It makes it a lot easier for us to do what we need to do over the clean-up later on. There certainly will be bits and pieces. Using your Enviromat is really important for the refuelers out there. We had that discussion at our briefing this morning. And how good was Rider Briefing with all those people there and all the colours? It's just awesome.
And no questions, which is probably the weird bit. And Gunny was like, really? No questions? It's just a magnificent day. Great coverage thanks to our friends at Optus. Really good chance to get your hoodie. If you haven't already done so, get your hoodie. I would say that tomorrow, even if it's nice and warm at the moment, tomorrow might not be exactly the same way. So the merch looks great this year. The Penrite guys are all set up. Jared and the team, we're going to have our Penrite Rider Spotlight. The barrels that you can sit around are really comfy. There's so many great facilities. So it's more than just a desert race.
Yeah, you're dead right. And if people are watching live and whether they want to come down, make sure you come down and watch it. It's an awesome event, and the atmosphere here, now we've got this fantastic weather behind us, has made it just enough. Really need to come down and watch this.
Kilometre. Yeah.
For the guys out there this morning, I think for the race part of it, we're looking at about, I think it's 22, 23 for the big wheel guys, and I believe it's something like about 16 or 17 or something for the other guys. So they'll be cranking away pretty solidly at it today.
You're a person, you're not used to this. You hear they go, K's a lap, and you're going to do 8 laps. Go, it's just next level.
Yeah, you're right. And I suppose the other thing that we need to discuss is the fact that over there, for the seniors tomorrow, 37, and they do 8 of those. And trust won't be getting a rest out there on that one. It's like a 37-kilometre motocross track.
Well, you got to watch the style that this man does when he launches them. I was watching, he's got this fantastic system. Can you do that? Just give us a bit of a demonstration of the launch system. Are you ready? And that is better than any goal umpire in the AFL right there. If you just... Do you warm up? Do you you don't just come straight out and start throwing them down, do you?
I know, you've got to do warm-up. You've got to spend about an hour or so doing warm-ups, just getting the shoulders ready, because it is cold here, so you need to actually spend that hour warming up, get a bit of a massage, and then you can throw the arms into it and let them go.
Is there any sort of system that you use? Can you just give me, is there something I should be looking for? You sort of step forward and it's almost like a 10-pin bowling with 2 hands.
Exactly, that is exactly the same thing. And if it was a bit icy, we'd be sliding just nicely along.
I've sort of got that bit of hip work there too.
You've got to do it. That's all for the ladies.
I was just going to say, you idiot.
Shawnee is an idiot. There's no doubt about it. No, he's a great guy. And Sean's been with us for a long time. And he's one of the classic, colourful characters that this race brings. As you walk around and you start to get to know all the different guys, which you're starting to see over the last couple of years, they are all characters in themselves. But the really cool part about it, Wade, they all have a big heart and they're all about wanting to make this race successful. And we're all having a great time down here. So I would suggest anyone that's thinking about it, just come on down and be part of it.
And just come down and get a photo of that magnificent sort of goal umpire desert race hip thrust concept. Johnny, wicked day, lots of great coffee around, lots of great merchandise to get hold of, good food as well, and just a great vantage point everywhere you want to get.
You're right. Come on down and just soak up the colour and be part of it, I say. Well, ladies and gents, very shortly we will have our big wheel class, but in the meantime we're just waiting for a couple of items to be dealt with before we kick off into that. So please bear with us. It's really important that we do things in the right methodology, and this is why we're holding back on you guys starting. So big wheel guys, just bear with us for a moment while we get some things sorted out on the track, and then we'll be with you shortly, guys. Well, looks like our big wheel class guys are about to come out. Wade, let's have a quick look through some of the timing this morning so we can give you a bit of an idea. Looks like we got Max Stevenson in position 10 this morning with a time of, by the look of this, a 3-minute 43.73. Ollie Gear behind him on a 3:40.92.
Yeah, then you got Hudson Crothers by the look of it with a 3:39.21. Jackie Deverson, a 3:34.72.
Levi Stevens on a 3:33.31. Davey Gear home on a 3:32.91.
Daniel McDonald, a 3:32.78. Jackson Verstegen with a 3:27.781. That may be incorrect.
And Jake Gannon on a 3:23.98. And Sean Metcalf looked like he was the fastest guy on a 3:23.22. So Lachlan Metcalf, good ride this morning for him as we now wait for our big wheel guys to get away from us very shortly. Rightio. Senior riders, guys, senior riders, please be aware. Rider briefing will be at 9:10. 9:10 for rider briefing for the senior prologue today, guys. Senior prologue, guys. Briefing for the seniors at the truck at 9:10. Thank you.
in the pits, just remember that there's returning bikes now from the Prologue. So if you're in the pit area, pit lane, can you make sure that you keep that area clear for the returning bikes? Thank you. Can you guys in the pit lane that are watching the race, can you please move to the side for the returning bikes in the pit lane, please?
Rightio, senior riders, senior prologue riders this morning. We will be having briefing with you guys at about 9 at the officials' truck. That's in the main catering area. Senior riders that are participating in the prologue this morning. 9, roughly 10 minutes away for your briefing for senior prologue. Guys, make sure you're available when you call you shortly. Rightio, senior prologue riders, senior prologue riders. If I get you to start making your way over to that truck, guys, very shortly we'll have your briefing for your prologue today, guys. Really important if you're competing today that you're there for it. I can see quite a few are there already. Can you please make sure you're over there waiting to go when we do it, guys? About 10 past or thereabouts. We'll be with you very, very shortly, eh? Rightio, guys, can you hear me? We're about to get into senior briefing. I need you all up nice and close so you can hear, okay? Don't be afraid to ask questions at the end of the session. If you don't want to ask them in front of everyone, I'm good with that too. Hang around, we'll have that chat one-on-one, okay? Really important you understand it. So, guys up the back there, if you want to start moving in just a little bit, and we'll get it underway, all right? And again, thank you very much for coming down and being part of this with us this weekend and attending here for this. Really important. I'll hand over now to Jeff Gunn, who'll take you through the important parts. Please listen and ask questions at the end if you need to.
Thanks very much, Johnny. First of all, welcome to this year's Hattah event. As Johnny said, Jeff Gunn's my name. I'm the clerk of the course for the weekend. So if you need anything, I'll be roaming around with this blue jacket on, so you can come and catch up with me. Brendan Gledhill is the steward for this weekend, so we're the two main officials for the race weekend. Major briefing obviously is for tomorrow, but just remember that this event can be dangerous. You might be injured or your bike may be damaged. But the guys have done an excellent job, I think, in preparing the tracks for this weekend. They're clearly marked. So it's up to you guys to make sure you've read everything that you've got with regards to your instructions and you follow the details of the officials today. Prologue this morning is the same track as the juniors are on, so it's roughly around about 5Ks long. It's the same as what it was last year. As you know, there's no look lap this year, so you guys go out there, we'll be straight into it. Obviously all your bikes, it looks like they're all lined up in their class order, so you'll be going off in pairs as per the sub-revs. So, and just while we get with that, for those who haven't been here before, the start, as you would have seen over there, is going to be on the light system. So it's roughly about 15 seconds between each pair. It'll cycle through. As soon as it goes green, you guys go. There's obviously a limited window between there, so I need you all to start in pairs at the same time. So I don't want someone to sit there and hang back for 5 minutes, or 5 seconds or 10 seconds, because you're going to foul up the guys coming behind you. Is that clear? So as soon as it goes green, you both go. There's plenty of room to sort yourself out before the first corner. Between each class, so the guys up here will bring you down in each class interval, and there'll be roughly a couple of minute interval between each class to the timing. At the completion of Prologue, and all your Prologue times will come up over here on the big screen, you'll need to take note of what your Prologue number is for tomorrow when you go and set your bike up over on the senior side, okay? So make sure that you know what your Prologue number is before you leave today. At the completion of the first lot of Prologue, we will then go into the top 10 qualifiers from the Prologue today. So those guys will go into a top 10 shootout. They'll go at one at a time at roughly 15-second intervals, okay? The track today, like tomorrow, is clearly marked with these drums. So for those of you who haven't been here before, if you come across that cross today or tomorrow, it means you've gone the wrong way on the track, okay? So that's the wrong way marker. The red dot is the danger symbol. So that's going to delineate either a sharp corner or a drop off or some form of danger on the track. So you need to be mindful of that if you come across that. The rest of the track is clearly marked all the way around with either bunting or the arrow markers, and that'll delineate the direction that you need to go. As per previous years, no riding on the crop, okay? So that will be, you'll incur a penalty if you're caught riding on the crop. Again, there's no tear-offs on your goggles, so make sure you don't have any tear-offs on. Dead engines obviously over here in the marshalling area until you're indicated to start and then move down. When you finish today and you head over to the senior side, if you're going to go over and set up, or you may have already done so, for those of you who've already dug refuel trenches, can you just ensure that they are within 1 or 2 metres of the front of your pit tent. I don't want to have refuel trenches, 3 or 4 metres out, because there's going to be guys coming in that transition area. So make sure your refuel trench is right in front of your pit. As per tomorrow, just before we leave here today, just remember that when the race starts over there, there's no people allowed in the pit under the age of 16. The only exception to that are the guys that are in the family area, but that's specifically sectioned off. So tomorrow, unless you've got a wristband on and you're over 16, you're not allowed in the pit. Tomorrow, when your bikes are taken down to the start area, you should have already read, so it's push your bike down and set it up down on the start area tomorrow in your various Prologue order. So please make sure today that you've got your transponder on your bike, otherwise you're going to go through a lot of pain for nothing and you'll start rear of field. So make sure your transponder's on. Okay, so it's a quick briefing for you guys today, and tomorrow we'll run through all the specifics of the other side and what's going to happen on the race day. Is there any questions with this morning? You're all good? Yeah, mate. Questions for today? No, you're all good. Righto, we'll go and gear up. The junior guys should be nearly finished, and we'll get you fellas underway. Thanks very much.
Robert Manger, if you can hear me, Robert Manger, I require you over the live timing van, please. That's Robert Manger. I need you over to the live timing van, please. Thank you. Rightio, guys, those that are looking for the Prologue times today, as we get to the stage of putting them up on the screen at some stage, prior to that happening, they are in printed form down at the merchandising tent, okay? For those that are chasing that, down at the merchandising tent there, please take your time going through there and just be patient, guys, to be able to have a look. Thank you. Looks like they're starting on the screen here as well, guys, so very shortly you'll see them come up on there as well. those wanting to know where your times are for your Prologue, the Optus truck is now operating, and the guys have got a screen running that gets a chance to scroll through. You'll be able to see where you finished, all right? So that's currently up and running, and the same will happen with our Big Wheels guys as they start to finish as well. If you want to see it in print form, you can see it, though, down at the merchandising tent, which is the Northwest Victoria Motorcycle Club. It's the black tent area down there, or the marquee area, where all the merchandising is. Thank you this weekend to the team from Optus, who are providing us with all of our data and our screens here this weekend. They do an awesome job of gathering this data and getting it out to everybody. And as I said last night and again today, a big thank you to the team from Optus for their involvement. And of course, if you want to have a look at what they're all about, you can hop onto the website optus.com.au/switch, or alternatively, you can call them on 1300 076 713. And a big thank you again to Optus for their involvement here this weekend for this great race, the 2019 Penrite Oils Hattah Desert Race.
Pardon? Pardon?
You ever stand up?
Have they had junior prologue? Junior's prologue yet, or just been for a look lap?
How much fun would that be going around Sweet
Yeah, that'd be good.
Polaris?
Brenda,
Good.
going up through here.
Man, it is just an absolutely perfect day.
Senior riders for
Just a light breeze. Conditions still pretty good.
Rightio, senior riders.
Check 1, 2.
Senior
2, 1,
riders.
2.
Senior riders, can you please be ready for prologue?
buddy? Yeah, good.
Rightio, senior riders for senior prologue. We'll need you shortly, guys. Be ready to go when the guys give you the call. Very shortly, we'll have senior prologue. Please make sure you're ready.
How you going?
Check 1 2, 2 1 2. Check 1 2.
Oh, awesome.
Rightio, senior prologue riders, senior prologue gliders will be with you very shortly. Just be ready to go when we give you the call, guys.
I'll just do a quick check. Ah, there you go. Perfect. I'm down here with Jared from Penrite, and we are discussing all things Penrite, but we're getting all romantic about this event, Jared, because it's just BAD 855.
Yeah, it certainly is. The weather's fantastic this year, so it's fantastic to be here and be involved once again.
Yeah, I mean, incredible turnout of riders. There's no doubt about it. This industry is enormous.
Yeah, there's certainly a good display of all types of bikes here in all sizes and shapes. So.
Now, your gorgeous trailer is here. The Bullet, the Silver Bullet, it is just a mint way of travelling. All your merch is here, plus you've got product for sale as well. So not only the cool stuff, but the Go Fast bits as well.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a mix of, as you said, both merchandise and products. So they've got a few of the guys here from Interstate helping us. So.
Wow, Jen, the boss, you just said you're over this way. The new oil, we're debuting something this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a brand new POS 1030, fully synthetic with a Group 5 boat. So yeah, go and have a chat with the guys and they can give you some information.
All right, the top 40 are down here for their prologue. We're about to get set. Thank you very much, Johnny Contract. This is what it is all about. First chance to look at the big boys. Man, there's some sexy looking bikes out here. Top 40 coming down now for the look lap. Good job by Blake Hollis in the prologue for the big wheels and the juniors. He was quickest out there, 255.47. Angus Reardon, 256.65. Tyron Tomic was third quickest at 258.67. Samuel Pressurer with a 301.6. Will Reardon, 302.05 is 5th. Cody Stevens, a 304.9 for 6th. Jacob Sweet, 7th with a 306.24. Dylan Vivian, a 308.17 for 8th. Mackenzie Johnson, 9th with a 308.2. Brock Davison is 10th with a 308.59. Charlie Milton, 311.1. Jethro Carriage, 312.91. Jack Colbert, Daniel Williams, Byron Dennis, Jack Bates, Billy Hargy, Maxie Liebecknecht, Matty Healy, and Tyler Wallace Harding, your top 20 for the Prologue Big Wheels qualifying for the juniors. And how good are conditions? Bit of a light breeze. You'd probably say it's a 5-goal breeze, I would think, Johnny, but man, just look at some of this equipment on the line here already. And of course, defending champ back here this year to hopefully do the job again. And Johnny, I heard you talking about, for me, the most memorable part of last year's Hattah happened after the checkered flag.
You're right. You're dead right, Wade. And the amazing part about this today now is particularly with this prologue about to start, and they will run in classes, Wade. That's why you're seeing bits and pieces of it. It's all in class, is after the checkered flag. Dead right. Rightio, for those guys that are chasing results for the junior big wheels, they will be printed and sent over to the merchandising area, and they'll also be loaded onto the screen as well, guys. So just bear with us while we collate all that. Junior big wheels, that'll all be printed and sent over to the merchandising area, and we'll run them on the screen as well for you guys. Well, as you can see out on the track at the moment, the guys are hammering through the classes for our senior prologue today. And it's awesome to see them in action down there. Wade and I have decided to come up to what we would call the Penrite hub, which is here in front of the Penrite stand where Jared and all these guys set up with all their merchandising. And what an awesome thing that Streamliner thing is,
Oh,
Wade.
yeah. Absolutely. The Silver Bullet, what a great way to travel. And later on when it gets cold, you'll see all the boys in there. There'll be a lot of bromance around the heater. Yeah, there it is. You can see it's located up on the top. Pete and all the boys in Jared, they will be snuggling in there. There'll be no pride. Yes, it's a really good time to talk about Optus. You can take a seat right there. We are the Penrite Spotlight, we're going to call this. And you can get it, yeah. You want to get a message out there? Not yet. How are you, mate?
Good morning. What, a bit warmer now?
It is, actually.
Right.
Well, let me tell you, last year it was about 10 degrees colder with razor blades coming in at 90 degrees. Trust me, he was here.
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad I brought a good weather with me. Hey, I just want to get a message out to everybody. All competitors, yesterday when you got the show bag, there's actually a SIM card in the show bag for everybody that entered. So if you check your show bag, you'll find an Optus SIM card in there for those that aren't able to use their phones with someone else. Put the SIM cards in and activate them. They're free. Go for it.
How good is that, Wade? That is amazing. And what a great effort from the Optus guys. Yeah. They've backed this event very well for us. I mean, we've had the trucks come down over last night and over the weekend to pull the data. That's so important. But on top of that, these show bags that we're giving out had these SIMs in them. I mean, that is awesome.
That means you can Snapchat out here. That's a good thing, means you get some coverage.
Yes.
Right? There you go. We talked about, hey, mate, everyone here's on Snapchat, Rob. Surely you're on Snapchat.
No, mate. I'm a bit too old for that.
Mate, you're never too old for Snapchat. Get on board. Or I'll get a little 5-year-old to show you how it works later on. It's quite an incredible thing. We really appreciate Optus' support, mate. We talked about this last night. Great opportunity for you guys to expose to a different market. And let's face it, everyone here are hardcore phone and dirt racing enthusiasts.
No, that's true. It's all about getting that message out there. Just letting people know that the network's here and, hey, give it a try.
And trust me, over the weekend, these teams are sending so much data backwards and forwards, whether it's simple messages to tell family and friends where they are or looking for pulling results and the like. They're all chasing the data. And the best way to do it is on a clean network, and that's what you guys are all about.
Yeah, well, I had some feedback as well. I am on Facebook, so I'm not.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not a total dinosaur.
Are you on MySpace? Is that what you're going to tell me?
No, I'm not my face either. So good head for radio. But anyway, what's happening is plenty of my mates are actually streaming it as well.
Yeah,
so,
good.
I haven't seen the stats on the YouTube channel, but I believe it's pretty good and the experience is really, really good. So, hey, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So far, so good.
Have you spotted Evel Knievel yet?
No, that used to be me.
Well, wait till you see, mate. The Matisse looks a mint.
We actually have one. There is no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Complete with cape. Trust me, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Oh, mate, honestly, he's done a great. He warned me yesterday. In the discussions we had yesterday, he was going to rock out something special on that gorgeous Matisse, and now, literally, with the cape and everything, the open face helmet, the aviator glasses, and he's even fashioned a belt buckle with EK.
Yeah.
The attention to detail is quite remarkable. So later on, you got to get a photo of him.
It is a weapon. It truly is.
I'm going to go and find him. Thanks, boys.
Oh, he's out there on track at the moment. You'll see that gorgeous Matisse. It's cherry red. You were noticing the exhaust.
I saw it last night.
Oh.
It was hot.
How good was it? If he was a Paul Hogan character from the Paul Hogan show, he'd look a little bit like
Arthur Dunger.
Leo.
Sorry, Leo. That's
I
correct.
won't get to
Leo
say the
Wanker.
second name, but yeah, Leo.
He always went to his balls.
And the way that he used to check the fuel tank. Remember the fuel levels with his cigarette lighter? Very, very
I
cool.
better get away from you before I say something I regret.
Yes.
All right, enjoy, boys.
Thanks for that.
Good
So,
luck, you're
boys,
well done.
reminder, it's a good message reminder. There's a SIM card inside your show bag. Just throw it in the phone.
Use it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
You
use
don't
it.
get something for free very often, do you?
No, and I'm going to say yes.
I did speak to Tex last night as well. The drone vision that we're getting is so pivotal and so critical to this coverage of this event as well.
It is. And because it's such a large event, Wade, and it covers so much area, the only way to really get across it all is with something like that. So,
yeah.
fascinating. And again, streaming stuff all over the place. Really important.
I noticed that Bo Ralston was walking around before and he stood out like, you know what, in fact, he's not very far from us.
Yeah.
Can you see who I'm talking about? If you look right through the centre there, absolutely immaculate looking gear. Got the white boots.
Yeah.
I think he's rolling the Alpine Stars as well. So anybody that wants to drop by for a chat with us, we're at the Penrite Spotlight. Huge thanks to Mildura Rural City Council, because without the support of this very proactive council, this event would not be possible.
And this is a classic example of a local municipality that's decided that they want to back an event that brings so many people into the region. I mean, it's important we do that, but you can't do it on your own. You need people to be able to get behind it. Mildura Rural City Council have done an awesome job of connecting with us and making sure that happens. And it's been year-on-year event. And I mean, it's everything from the lead-up, the bins that go in and out, controlling the road networks, closures. I mean, how good was it last night? We had the Victorian Police Force, of all things, shutting the road down to let us get our traffic back in from scrutineering last night, back into the main thoroughfare. So the whole town gets behind it. That's how big the event and how awesome it is for this event to survive.
Johnny, I'm very lucky. I get to travel around a lot of Australia at different motor racing events and even in the States as well. And there is no one city that has the variety of motorsport disciplines that are showcased than Mildura. There just isn't. I mean, circuit racing is going to start to,
Yep.
they're always working towards that part of the equation with that motorplex concept, but ski racing is enormous.
Correct.
Speedway bikes are enormous. Speedway cars are enormous. And you've got rally stuff, which you're actively involved in as well.
Correct, yeah.
And this, of course, this event is just huge. Drag racing is enormous, with Darren Morgan being in town and Lammy not far out of town
Correct,
as well.
yeah.
There's no city that has more motorsport variety than this one.
That's why we live here.
Absolutely. The weather's not bad either. Here we are in winter. Mate, look at this.
good,
Well, I
isn't
was going to have to take the hoodie off.
And hey, listen, a big thank you must also go out to the guys at Mototech. Of course, Paul and the team there have been awesome in their support of what's been going on in the lead up and even after the event's done. These guys will be all over it, making sure that they look after what we need out of it. And Paul and the guys have been awesome with their support, as have been a number of our different sponsored networks. They do a great job of supporting it.
And that Mototech shop is mint too. I don't know if you've been out there, but it's just immaculate. You can eat off the floors out there. They've got a location here in town and also in Geelong.
Correct.
Pretty sure Decky Adams works out there as well. And they're just a great dealership that offers so much more than just that.
Great family. They really are supportive locally. And really make sure that the message goes across. And I would argue, potentially at times with some businesses, it's really about getting the brand out. For Paul and his family, it's really about supporting the events that they're connected with, and more importantly, the kids that are involved riding some of the equipment that they do provide. And they're not hammering it down people's throat. It's about making sure people understand there's a choice, and they're happy to support you.
Johnny, last year I was a rookie, and this year Jeff Leask is a rookie, which I just love that. I love the fact that he hasn't been here before.
He's got it coming, hasn't he?
There's probably a lot of people that are here for the first time, and you're talking about prologue and look laps and all that sort of stuff. And to be honest, last year it was a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of things going on. You're like, what is actually going on? Can you sort of give everyone a layperson's explanation of what we're doing right now?
Well, right about now, the guys are actually out on the prologue, rather for the prologue lap that they need to do for seniors.
Which is basically qualifying, right?
Correct. It's setting the pace for their start position for tomorrow for our senior riders. But on top of that, what we'll do is we'll take the top 10 guys out of this today, and we'll run those guys again, one at a time, out on the track for what will be our top 10 shootout. That will determine the starting order for the top 10 guys. So if you're 11 and beyond, you have your place.
Yeah.
If you are in the top 10, you have another chance to shift further up into the 10. Now, this is the bit that gets a bit tricky, okay? Because maybe, just maybe, the first outing is your fastest. If it's not, you're going to fall back, all right? If it is something you want to improve on, then you have the opportunity to maybe leapfrog a little bit further up, because as we all know, first man away tomorrow gets the clean air, okay? But this is why we do this, and we allow the guys in that top 10 to actually juggle around. Once we finish that, that'll set exactly who starts at the start and at the finish for tomorrow across the road for the main race.
Now, that's something I wanted to highlight as well, because if you are here for the first time, this track is not what we race on tomorrow. It's an entirely different circuit, as you said, over the other side of the highway, a much longer course in the mid-30-kilometre range.
37 across the road, 5 here.
Yeah, so it's a totally different set of circumstances, different conditions over the road. But let's focus on what the kids have to do today. So they've already had their prologues.
They certainly have had their prologue. Both classes, there's 2 classes. There's a small wheel class, which covers a number of different bikes in that. And then we have a big wheels class, which means that they can ride bikes that are probably a bit higher in capacity and some other significant parts to create those classes. So what will happen after our senior prologue today and our top 10 shootout, okay? Then what will happen is we'll actually bring our small wheel class out. They'll compete on their event proper today. And when that's completed, then we'll wheel out our big wheel class guys. They'll compete today, and that'll be the close of events for both those junior classes. So we won't see any junior wheels turning tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow's about the senior guys, which is what we're setting up and running right now. Juniors today, seniors tomorrow.
Now, rookie mistake, when you're walking around the pitch, you need to be careful you don't fall into about 200 holes in the ground.
Yep.
Basically trenches that are dug at the front of each pit bay. And of course, if you guys are in desert racing, you go, yeah, dude, we know all that. But there's a lot of people that are here for the first time going, I didn't know that. That's basically where the bikes roll into the pit, wanting to, I think Jess is here a little bit later on.
Yeah, she is. She's about.
Just walked right past us. We're just hanging here at the Penrite spotlight. So you've got to be careful not to walk in. They have enviro pads, which enviro mats that sit inside to soak up the fuel.
Correct.
Any spillages?
Any spillage gets picked up by the enviromat. It's part of what we need to do for sustainability within our sport. Really important and very clever way of doing it, but really important that the guys utilise that. And they'll do that today and tomorrow as well.
Now, Sunday night at the Da Vinci Club, I believe it's pretty well sold out.
It is.
Presentation night for Sunday night. So that's going to be epic, because everyone will want to have an adult lemonade or two at the end of a massive weekend of riding. So you're going to have about 450 people to corral.
Correct.
Who are all going to be relieved and probably a little bit merry as well.
Well, the beauty about the presentation night now, which is a new facet this year that's been introduced, means that we get a couple of things will happen. The riders, Wade, actually get to switch off for a minute, and actually get the chance to pick up the accolades for everybody that's done so well over the weekend. On top of that, though, it gives us a chance to really thank, in the quiet, the key people and the sponsors that have been involved that keep this together. So it is a really important part. But for me, Wade, and I suppose for yourself, I can say this, it really is about celebrating what we've just done over a weekend. A massive weekend of motorsport here for this form of racing.
And what's important too, a lot of you guys are walking around in your officials, your red jackets, which indicate that you're pivotal part of the running of this event. Don't be afraid to stop someone in a red
No.
jacket and shake their hand and go, hey, thanks. Because it's a thankless job. There's a lot of volunteers. I was talking to Kenny Reid earlier, filmed some stuff that we'll throw up on the Facebook page later. And basically, it's a 12-month-a-year job. You don't just roll into this joint and go, let's just do this on the day. You guys work all year on this.
The thing is, like, and I'll tell you how it starts. The race finishes, and everybody goes home on Monday. All cool. We have to start the clean-up process from Monday, okay? So that works through to making sure we've locked everything down correctly. Then the planning starts from there on for next year, okay? So it's a continual wheel of evolution to make sure that we end up on Friday night like we did last night with the right lead up, and then it's just close down and start again.
Remember last year too, there was some, I'll use your word, muppets that actually damaged the course in the lead up to that. So you can't just walk in and just lay down some carpet, you know, or put in a temporary track. You have to build and craft this track, and that goes on, you know, several weeks out, and guys ride that to get that defined.
And the other thing you have to understand too, Wade, is that a lot of the ground here is owned by privateers, like private people. So the fact that you come on and do something dumb like they did last year, that was on someone else's property, okay? Not on for starters. And we made it quite clear, I think I was pretty definitive
Animated, yep.
About that. The fact that had happened. We haven't had that issue this time round, and I think the really cool part about it is that there is probably a little bit of local justice in it that we maybe don't hear about, that people know who did who with what, and usually the message gets you across pretty quickly. But the last thing we want is something like that to happen. It's about sustaining the event, and we've had no issues this year, so obviously the message got out. And we just continue to run what is a better race for everybody.
I'm just noticing some names that are flicking through. Jason Stewart, one of the local legends of desert racing, who always goes over and competes in Fink. He's a granddad these days as well, is Stewie. I did notice that Jess Moore's name just popped up pretty high in the order too, around 31st or something like that overall in that group. And I just got to see Jess ride brilliantly, the young West Aussie, the Goldfields rider who now lives in Sydney at the Manjimup 15,000. She actually was able to take care of the last couple of races on Megan Rutledge and get the win over there. Meg is here this weekend, I'm pretty sure, but not racing.
Yep, and Megan as well, not here this weekend as well. So it's a bit of a shame, but look, I think that the fact that the club does cater for not just the pro guys, but all the different classes, the junior girls.
So there's your list at the moment. So Milne, Daniel Sanders, Lyndon Snodgrass, that's your top three at the moment.
Nathan Trigg following. So yeah.
Triggy's such good value, isn't he?
He's a really good knockabout guy. And you know what? One of these days, it will align for him where he will stand in his own glory. So and he's just a good knockabout guy, you know. Good
and those Sherco bikes, they are really starting to look tricked too. Their layout last night at the scrutineering looked as good as any of the factory teams that I saw, the KTMs, the Yamaha boys, etc.
Absolutely. If you have a look at the way the bikes are decked out with the equipment that they come standard now too, you know, they are really a power force to deal with.
Here's a bloke from Mototech I reckon we should talk to real quick. He's dreaming a bit at the moment. He's just walking by, so I'm going to grab him and bring him over here, Declan Adams. Sit down here, Decky. Have a chat with us. You're not doing anything. Pull up a barrel, mate.
He's absolutely sweating now.
I know.
Mate, good to see you down here. How good is this environment?
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's good to be here. Wade, you're doing a good job.
Mate, Johnny's contract is Mr. Hattah, so I'm just like flying alongside the captain at the moment. Mate, what have you been riding much lately?
I've been doing a little bit of enduro stuff. A bit of everything, really.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Now, what's it like at Mototech? Tell me about the boys at Mototech. Tell us something that we don't know.
Yeah, it's really good, actually. We've got some good mechanics, Geelong and here. Come over to our tent. We're selling some merchandise and took a few tyres and stuff, I think.
I saw Mum and Dad cruising around last night. Your dad just absolutely lives and breathes any form of motor racing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it out on the four-wheeler and good.
And you got a bit of a connection to Callum Norton these days that nobody really saw coming, mate. You care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I know. Going out
Yeah. So Casey and Cal, they've become an item, which is very cool. So, mate, always good to see you, Decky. I can tell he's desperate to get away, Johnny.
Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable, does he, at all? It's all good. There
See
you
you,
go.
mate.
I knew the moment I did that, he'd depart.
Decky Adams, without a doubt, one of the incredible speedway families and motor racing families in Mildura. And Ondi's a bit of a local legend as well. I did notice that Ondi got a mention last night.
Yeah, he did.
He's one of the great characters. Lee's more the quiet one. Ondi's the the wild child of the Adams family.
I call him the knockabout, but because if something to hit, he hits it
And
or
a great,
bounces off it.
great rider. And his boys are great riders
They
too,
are.
mate. Very solid riders.
No, we're really blessed in this area for the amount of action that we get. And I couldn't think of a better area to live in than where we are. The weather's fantastic. I mean, it's great.
I love it when you look around and the young bloke, the 199 there, and I love some of the numbers that mum and dads have created, you know, in texture and stuff. He's rolling with the sushi. Now, back in the day, Johnny, you never saw motocross riders walking around or desert racers walking around munching on sushi.
No.
But good work, buddy.
It was all about pies or...
Yeah.
it was going.
Yeah. You know, like an energy bar and stuff like that. But no, it's all about the sushi.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, what I might do, I might see if I can't track Callum Norton down. I might have a chat to him because I think some of the people here this
so
weekend...
Casey was standing right over there when we were just talking
it's
about
all good.
that.
Yeah, they
I
were
can
hiding.
guarantee
I can
she
see
won't,
it, and they were
she
hiding,
won't
right?
talk. I can guarantee
No,
that.
She's not going to do that. I'll get Cal to have a chat because a lot of
left-handed.
people probably don't realise that Cal was to ride here this weekend, and unfortunately, right up until the, I would almost call it the death knock, a problem had developed. So first things first, hey, great to have you down here, Cal, even though you're not riding this weekend, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's good to be back, and still we're not racing this year, but it's good to sit back and watch, and it'll be a good weekend.
And of course, for those that aren't aware, Callum was one of the guys that we've had here over the years, part of what we would class as our junior development program, where he rode, I think it was for 5 years, is that right, Callum, in the junior division?
Yeah, 5 years. So I started on a 85 in the small wheel class, and then worked my way all the way up into the 250. Done that for 2 or 3 years, and then into the seniors in 2017.
So a couple of years in that, and this was going to be one of those years that was just sort of building the steps to where you needed to go. And I shouldn't laugh, but what happened, he came up here last weekend to one of the Oyen events that we ran, which is not far from Mildura here. The whole idea was to get a bit of, pre-Hattah activity going. And, mate, it just really didn't go to plan, did it?
Nah, definitely not. Just a tiny little spill, as it always is. Just little fall over, and it was one of the smallest crashes I've had in a while. It just landed right on my shoulder and awkward, and it just broke my collarbone straight away. So I sort of knew, and the rest of my body was fine. So it's just that, and a bit of a bummer, but no, it's all good.
And such is the dedication of this guy. What he did, he had that issue happen in Oyen. And then what he did, he actually went back home, I think down to Geelong, to get surgery done, and then back to support the guys here as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we headed home Monday straight away and tried to get fixed up as quick as we could, and actually still waiting to be fixed. So hopefully next week. But we thought better come back up and then watch. So couldn't miss Hattah. I've been here the last 7 years, so definitely wasn't missing it.
Mate, this weekend, how good is the weather? And I don't want to keep rubbing it in, but it is absolutely awesome. A stark contrast, as you will see every year when you come back to Hattah. Every year's kind of different.
Yeah, definitely. Last year obviously was a little bit drier, and this year we got rain leading the lead up, so it's perfect. And today the weather's turned on beautiful, so really don't even need a jacket out here. It's nice.
Cal, it looks like you've been your whole life for this moment. You look like you're rolling the orange. You've been KTM orange since the day you were born. It looks like this was going to be a thing that was going to happen one day, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, haven't really ridden. I rode Honda obviously last year, but apart from that, I've been KTM since I was 4 or 5, so it's always been a dream to be on the KTM team, and really lucky. And still, I couldn't be out there this weekend, but hopefully we'll be back and get the chance to do it next year.
Mate, no, the Misso sings pretty good, you know. Does she sing it all for you? Because she won't sing for us. She does a good job of the anthem too, the Australian anthem, but we can't get her to sing it. Have you noticed anything about that?
Yeah, she in the car a little bit, shows me here and there, but she's pretty good. Could do a bit more, I reckon, but we'll see how we go.
Good luck with that. Good to see you, Cal.
Cheers, thank you.
All the best, buddy. Cal Norton, of course, who's here looking after the event and being here as part of the colour and the like, but unfortunately unable to ride this weekend because of issues.
From one desert racing legend to another.
Absolutely. We go from one scale to someone who's probably not quite as fast, but in his day, trust me, was an absolute weapon, and that is, of course, Jason Stewart. Hey, Stewie, great to have you down here this weekend.
Thanks, Johnny. I think you're putting a bit of bloody gold on that story, mate.
That's what we do, mate. We're here to paint pictures. It's all right. Mate, you just got back from Fink. How was that?
Yeah, Fink was good this year. I mean, my own personal result was okay. You know, I was 38th out riding in the third in class, but
to have all the Mildura boys there, and there was 4 guys from Mildura in the top 20, and you know, Triggy, he would have been up there as well, except for his little accident on the way home. But it was awesome, you know. That's the thing. I sort of the last couple of years when Nicholas and Brody and all them guys are keen for it, it's got me going again, to be honest. And I thought, well, you know, rode Fink again this year. I was a ride Hattah. It's been 10 years since I rode Hattah, and I forgot how bloody tight and deep and sandy this joint is.
And of course, the funny thing about the local contingent going up there, as we were saying earlier on, this form of racing here and the way that the guys train to ride at Hattah blends so well with going up to Fink, and it is really important to see so many guys from Mildura go up there and within reason do well in class and or overall. There's no fluke to it. It really is about the grueling training and what they do in preparation for this. And I would argue, and the guys that in the pro class will back it up as well, as any rider that's ridden it, this event is a lot more demanding physically and mentally than what Fink is.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, I've never won either of them, but you know, to win Fink would probably be the pinnacle of any sort of off-road desert race. But you know, the average person can go to Fink, they can ride down and they can ride back. They've got 4.5 hours to do it. You know, this is a different sort of a kettle of fish. You can't. There's no rest here. You've got no. If you get tired, you still got to go. And that's my opinion is to finish Hattah is harder than what it is to finish Fink.
I've always ever called it a 37-kilometre motocross track because it's a motocross track where you're over the bars, on the pegs, on the gun all the time, no rest.
Yeah, 100%, you know, and good motocross riders go good at Hattah. They always have, you know, even since back in 97 or 98 when we got it going again. You know, Smarty, Cesar Del Faro, those guys, you know, they were the best motocross riders in Victoria. And then Andy Hayden and Carmichael and all those guys used to come here and they would smoke it. And, you know, then it realised they got to do it for 4 hours. So, you know, you're a special person to be Hattah.
Stewie, you're a very proud dad, mate. That's one of the cool parts about, you know, what you do. Last year, I think, was the first time you rode Fink without Geordie by your side. He's over in Europe now, and he's doing a really good job. He's riding for the Red Car Bears with his solo speedway stuff, but representing the Joeys, him and young Jamin Lindsay, a couple of Mildura boys on the world stage right now. You must be so proud.
Yeah, you know, that's been a journey in itself. Like, you know, Geordie and Jamin and yeah, anyone that's known those boys since they were buddy 2 or 3, they're going to be speedway riders. And I actually booked flights, Wade. I'm going to England on buddy Wednesday. So if I get through tomorrow, I'm off on Wednesday.
Do you know the only thing that saved him, right? Normally Donna would be going, I'm going too. There's one little bloke called Louie that has saved you. Otherwise, you'd have to be buying 2 tickets because she's staying home to be with Louie, I bet.
Yeah, that's it. We've got the little grandson now. He's 6 months old and he's a little ripper. You know, motorbikes, he's already got it. He comes out in the workshop and I sit him in the gear bag and he checks out what's going on.
When he cries, they put him on the bike to settle him down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What chance has the kid got?
Well, his dad's a footy player, so he might even be playing for Richmond, but the Honda boys have been to my joint during the week, and you know, Louis comes out and try not to get him too convinced that Hondas are not too good, you know, but no, he's a good little knacker. But yeah, I'm off to England on Wednesday. Geordie and Jamin are qualified for the World Team Cup. The grand final was Friday night at Bellevue. So, you know, that's another cap for Mildura. Like, they've got 2 more riders on the world stage, and he's just also signed for a first division team in England, which I can't release yet.
Oh, exclusive!
Yeah,
Come on, Stewie, you won't tell anyone.
I can't do that.
Can we have a hint?
It's not on Facebook yet, and until it's on Facebook,
Wolverhampton.
I'm not allowed to say nothing.
Stewie, I'm going to look in the eye now, and I'm going to tell you, okay, don't you dare fall off tomorrow and actually miss that flight.
Wow, Johnny.
Seriously, miss that flight over there. The fallout out of that will be horrendous, all right? So don't you dare.
That will happen. Grandma will be going.
Well, Geordie rang me this morning at 6:30 because he rode last night, and he said, "What are you doing today?" I said, "I've got Prologue on." He goes, "Are you riding Hattah?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, don't."
That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because I know the fallout that will come from that. So
Donna will go if you can't go.
Don't you dare.
She won't leave Louis alone for a couple of weeks.
So there you have it. Hey, Stewie, thanks for coming down and having a chat to us. It's always great to catch up with you because you're a real all-rounder. And the other thing that I must make mention of, Wade, is that Stewie's group, STE, which is obviously the business he runs, supports so many things around the region here
absolutely.
as well. So, mate, even though you're not really as such connected with this one to a degree, you are kind of in the background. So thank you so much for what you do for the region as well, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, John. I mean, I've always been a member of Northwest since I was 9, you know, like we help out where we can, and Wednesday night the family we're around and help put the show bags together, and I always try to do scrutineering if I'm not riding, but you know, they've got a wonderful committee, mate. Hattah gets bigger and bigger and better, and the guys that are running the show now are bloody first class, and they, you know, I know they put thousands of hours into it, and it's good.
I know you're a two-wheel boy, mate, but the Aussie sidecar title's coming up in March at Olympic Park. You must be amped about that because the big boys will be coming.
Big. That's going to be next season in Mildura. The speedway is going to go off. We've got some world-class international riders coming out this year. There's a couple of young Danish riders, English riders, the sidecar.
A couple of World Championship under-21 team members will be coming back.
Another hot off the press, the Grand Prix looks like it's coming back to Australia early next year, maybe March.
Really?
So
Whereabouts?
I can't say that either.
Oh, Stewie.
Come on, you can't get all the scoops.
I know, right?
Seriously.
Well, one scoop would be nice.
He's on a code of silence, mate.
There is a secret meeting going on today somewhere in Australia, and
really,
hopefully it's the first round, so as late as March even.
Wow.
So there you have it.
Now, you know, Stewie, if you hang around him long enough, you get to meet some legends as well. And I'm pumped. A couple of weeks ago, you introduced me to a bloke that I'm so thrilled to have got to meet him, Bobby Crump. What an incredible bloke.
Yep. He's only one of many around here, but a lot of Kenny Reid just walked past. I mean, he's
21 Hattahs, mate.
He's done every Hattah other than one. When he claims he hurt his shoulder, there's not much wrong with it, really.
Mate, Johnny's done 22. Might not have been on the bike, but Johnny's been here for 22 of them.
That's what I mean. And that was all just Des Woodbury, Colin Woodbury, basically saying, "Oh, we need to get Hattah going again." And that's what
he's an encyclopedia on motor racing in this region, isn't he?
He is, and I suppose that's the reason why we all live and breathe it here, because we've all grown up with that in our veins from the very day, you know. So it's awesome.
You got me all excited about the SGP now. When I turn this mic off, you're going to tell me.
We'll see what happens.
I got a lazy $10 that's going nowhere. $10 by it?
Yeah, but you know, it was in obviously Wade, Melbourne for 3 years. You commentated, and
that's why I'm excited.
And then it was just way too expensive to run it at Etihad, and it's a shame because it was a big thing. Everyone enjoyed coming to Australia and riding it.
Well, it was expensive back in Sydney too when David Lander ran that one-off event. It was just brutally expensive.
In 2002 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So I don't know, the venue they got lined up, it's basically open the gate and get into it. We've had plenty of world-class events there over the years, and it's a bit of a no-brainer, but you know, there's a couple of local people involved, and it's just about Facebook ready, so until then it can't be announced. So.
Well, that's enough hints. Don't go saying anymore, all right?
Exactly. West End's a good beer.
There you go. That's all we're saying, right?
So, I was hoping you might say that.
Thanks again, Stewie, for coming down and being part of the action here, buddy. Well done.
I've got to go and find me mate. He's missing in action. I don't know where he is. He went Prologue in about an hour ago.
We've got some giveaways, I reckon.
Thank you very much, Stewie. We'll move on now to
good news,
Jess.
mate.
Hey, Jess, great to have you here this weekend.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Did you find your brother last night? We were looking for him for a photo and couldn't get him. Where is he?
I got a photo, but we need another one because he wasn't smiling.
Rightio. Now, you got a stack of giveaways.
Yep.
We should do some now, Johnny, in front of the Penrite caravan, I reckon.
Absolutely. I think Jess has got a stack she wants to give away, courtesy of Penrite. The guys are awesome in the way they hand out the bits that we need to give away, Jess, aren't they?
Yeah, so kids, come on down. I've got some stickers and other stuff.
The helicopters all went last night, thanks to Optus. They went in a flash. Lucky Jess has still got arms left because they were just flinging them out of her hands. So come down to the Penrite caravan now, and Jess is going to give you some stickers, kids.
So there you go, kids. If you want to make your way down to the Penrite spotlight area, which you'll see all the black drums, the chairs, and all the bits here from Penrite ready to be given away. Jess is here with a heap of stickers that she'll hand out. And while we're talking about a Wade, we'll talk about some of the other bits the guys have got here. They've got some Honda jackets, the last of those proper racing Penrite jackets. They're on sale here at $50 a hit. The Penrite Honda vests, they're available in large, extra large, and 2XLs. They're $30 a hit. And the Penrite Honda vest, again, in the same style. That's there for $30.
Oh, the umbrellas.
The Just keep the sun off, the umbrellas.
Or the
they're
rain
available.
tomorrow. It's supposed to be a bit wet tomorrow, so the Penrite brolly might come in very handy.
You never know your
And
luck.
Jess can hold one up and look very grid girl.
Cool.
She does that.
We'll deal with that tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you want to come down and check out the Honda, the Penrite Honda gear and the Penrite Aero liner, come down and be part of it. Jess has got heaps of stickers to give away. And for those big guys, if they want to be able to catch up with something a little bit more involved with maybe lubricants and the like, which is what the guys are after, there's a tent set up here with the guys, so the specialists that can tell you all about what is involved with that. A big thanks to Trev and the guys at Ziggy's in their catering area for helping us out this weekend. They're doing an awesome job at keeping us fed. So good on you, Trev. That coffee this morning was absolutely sensational. So we'll be looking forward to lining up another one of those tomorrow.
Mate, the chicken strips don't go bad either, thanks to Mango. We'll take a quick break, come back and have some more chats here at the Penrite Spotlight in a few moments' time. Come grab your stickers.
Rightio, we've got some really good gear to give away now, Wade. I've got some Penrite, what they call a Penrite sticker plate, and I've also got some other bits and pieces. If someone wants to come over and have a chat to us and tell us where they're from and who they're here supporting, I'm happy to give them one of these sheets. All right, so who wants to be the first to come over and have a chat to me? Do you want to do that? What about you? Come over here and have a chat to me. What's your name, mate?
I'm Nicholas.
And where are you from?
Alice Springs.
Alice Springs, great place up there. The weather here is like your home, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rightio. If you can tell me the brand of oil on that, I'll give it to you. What is it?
Penrite.
Good on you, buddy. That one's yours. Happy days. Righto. We've got a cap. But what do you think? Who should we talk to? This guy here. What's your name, buddy?
Eddie.
Eddie, where are you from?
Narromine.
And you're here obviously riding in one of the classes, small wheel class or big wheel?
Big wheel.
Big wheel. And what are you riding, buddy?
KDM. 8.5.
Rightio. I'll give you one of those if you want it because you've come over and have a chat with me. Is that okay?
Yeah.
There you go. That one's yours. We've got another one here. Who wants to come over and have a chat with me? You? Where are you from, buddy?
Swan Hill.
Swan Hill. Are you up here for the day and up again tomorrow?
Yep.
And, of course, you're here supporting someone?
Yeah, my cousin's racing.
What class and what name?
Emily Button, and she's in the ladies 12, 16.
Cool, all right. Well, would you like one of those? You grab that. That's yours. Who's next off the list? You. What's your name, mate?
I'm Chris.
Chris, where are you from?
Victoria.
Whereabouts in Victoria?
Kirsten.
Right, okay. So that's a little way away. What would you like, cap or a sheet?
Please.
Rightio. I bet you they're going to... Don't stick them on the fridge, on the car, on your walls or anything else. Everything else is fair game though, mate. Go for your life.
Thank you.
There's old mate rolling the coconut water here. What do you got there? Oh, jeez, eh? Look at that. And check out the number in the hairdo. Now, that's commitment. Got the 655 rolling in the haircut and everything. That is commitment.
Rightio, let's see if we can have a chat. Yeah, what's your name, buddy?
Mason Boucher,
Where are you from?
Victoria.
Yeah, whereabouts in Victoria?
Elton.
Rightio, Eltham's a little bit better. Rightio, would you like a sticker or a hat? Which one would you like?
Stickers, please.
There you go, grab one of those. Okay, your name?
Great manners too, Johnny.
Mason and Ella.
Rightio, Mason, where are you from, mate?
Melbourne, Victoria.
Which suburb?
Whittlesea.
Whittlesea, that's what we wanted to hear. Rightio. You're here riding in the small wheel or big wheel class?
Small wheel 85.
Rightio, all the best. Which would you like, cap or stickers?
Can I please have the cat?
You can absolutely have a cap.
How good are the manners, mate? Can I please have a hat? You can't cover up the hairdo, though.
No.
That's mint.
Well, I might send this one over to you, Wade. We'll have a chat to this.
Come
one,
over and
Wade.
sit on the barrel, mate. Come and sit on a Penrite barrel so you're really rolling it. Because that's how we roll here at the Penrite Spotlight. What's your name, champion?
Jamison.
That's correct. Where you from?
Epping.
You're 2 from 2 so far. Don't mess this one up. What are you riding today?
KX85, big wheel.
All right, so how long have you been racing?
Since I was like 6.
Name one previous winner of Hattah.
Daniel Sanders.
Oh, do you? There you go. You want a hat or you want stickers? Which one? You'll go the hat, please. Smart move. All right, who's next? Come and jump up on the Penrite bar stool here. How are you, matey? What's your name? Oh, you're pretty tough. Are you on just the one black earring on this side, so obviously you don't mind a bit of pain. What are you riding today?
65 inch smaller.
All right, mate. Who do you want to thank? Have you got someone that you want to say thank you to for your racing?
Yeah. Dad and Mum and my sister for taking me here.
That's a good answer because you mentioned your sister. Is your sister a little sister or a big sister?
Sister.
What's your name? You're a good boy for mentioning your little sister, mate. Hat or sticker? And he's gone the hat. Good work. Really, we should take some of his little sister. We got one. Can we give the stickers to his little sister? That's pretty cool. You mentioned his little sister because not everybody does that. All right, I want to do 2 more. Let's bring 2 more. One, jump up on the bar stool here. Kitted out, rolling the KTM gear. Got the Penrite Hattah hat on. You are fully kitted, rolling the matching tracky dacks. What's your name?
Sam.
Sam, where you from, buddy?
Roxby Downs.
Roxby Downs. That's not exactly just down the road. How long did it take you to get here?
8 hours.
It's a long time, man. Who was in charge of the music in the car? Was it like Dad, or did you get to roll some new stuff?
My mum.
What kind of music did she roll? Was it like Barbara Streisand and sort of, or is it more like Pink? What she sort of like to roll?
The boring stuff.
Boring stuff. What kind of stuff's boring stuff?
Like, shotgun. Yeah.
Just boring. All right. Well, now that we've trashed Mum's favourite taste in music, I'm pretty sure she's over there filming, so it might be a very quiet ride home for you. You want to take a sticker or a cap?
Sticker.
Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to fix this. On the way home, you pick yours. You pick your music, all right?
Right. What would that be? What kind of music you like?
Rap God.
Rightio. Rap God. Enjoy the ride home, Mum, for 8 hours on an endless loop. Who's next? Swing over here and jump on the Penrite stool. How are you, mate? All right, what's your name?
Yankee.
How do you spell that? It's a pretty groovy name. I don't know. I don't think I've ever met one of you. That's very cool. Where are you from? Where's that? All right, fair enough. Well called. And you're rolling the hoodie, so you're already supporting the product. Are you racing? What are you doing? Are you supporting anybody? If you don't know anyone that's racing today, you're just here to support. I reckon.
That is a cool answer.
I was just going to say
and
that.
I reckon we give her 2
Cap and stickers. She gets both. That's very cool.
Well, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Very
good
unique.
job.
And a spectator that's not here following anyone, just here to support the race. So what an awesome effort for her and her family to come up and do what they've got to do. Great.
All right, we're going to do some more giveaways a bit later on. Jess is going to take all of her stickers and do some of those giveaways a bit later.
Hey, I'm going to go and chase up what we're going to do for our top 10 shootout. So that's
getting close.
Rightio, guys, I've had a GME radio handed in. It's a GME two-way that has been lost out on the track. If it's yours, you can actually go over to the pit tent and pick it up from there. Pari and the guys will have it over there. It's a GME handheld two-way that's been found out on the track. If it's yours, over to the pit tent, guys, to claim it. Anthony Parr, if you can hear me, can I meet you at the briefing truck, please? Anthony Parr, can I meet you at the briefing truck, please? Thank you.
Well, it's good to catch up with Jess Moore, who's over here having her very first ever Hattah. So she's a bit like Jeff Leask in that respect. Jess, you've just come in from Prologue. How'd you go? I was watching your name. Was up around 31st or something like that a couple of times. How'd you go?
Yeah, not too bad. I started off alongside Emma Milesevic she was on the 450, so the little 250 was revving right out. I ate a little bit of roost, but managed to put down a good lap. So.
You don't normally do desert racing, so what was that? I mean, it's only a short little rip at that time. It's probably more like what you normally do.
Yeah, it was just a little bit longer than a normal motocross track, I think. It definitely felt like that, apart from the few longer straights, but it was good, and Sandy is starting to get a little bit chopped out.
So I saw you at Manjimup. You did a phenomenal job. Meg was able to wrap up the championship, but you served it right up to her, particularly your last three rides. How different is this event going to be in terms of your endurance and your fitness required, or do you have no idea yet?
Yeah, like I said, it's my first time here, so I really have no idea what to expect. Compared to our 15-minute plus one races at Manjimup, it's definitely going to be a little bit longer than those. But I'm looking forward to the sandy conditions. Being from WA, I think it suits me a little bit more.
So it's probably 9 or 10 times the distance of your normal moto, just something like that.
Yeah, something like that would keep me on my toes.
And what about the pit stops? Have you had a chance to check out how that all rolls as well?
Yeah, the boys at KTM have hooked us up with a few little tips and tricks to get us through that and taught us what we've got to do. So hopefully it all goes to plan.
Yeah, it's amazing how you actually race into the pits and make your pit stop and then straight back out. Like the track is actually, or the pits is part of the track.
Yeah, I was having a little bit of a look yesterday. I rode around on the mountain bikes and yeah, it's just quickly rip off, grab some fuel and a drink and back out you go again.
And I've got to say, the KTMs, the Katooms look pretty sexy this year, don't they? They've got the bright yellow markings on the tyres. Like, just everything looks mint.
Yeah, definitely. By far the best looking bike in the pits in combination with Motor X and Pirelli tyres. You don't get a better looking bike.
So you're a Kalgoorlie girl, originally from the Goldfields, but you live over in Sydney these days. How's the traffic?
Yeah, it's a lot different to little Kalgoorlie, but nah, it's good. I mean, being a lot more central, not having to travel backwards and forwards from WA all the time.
And we want to keep pushing women's motocross because it's just something that needs to get more and more profile. You look at how AFLW has exploded with the support of the AFL. It'd be really great to just start building on the profile of women's motocross.
Oh, 100%. I seen there was a post about how many girls all up there was for the whole weekend across the juniors and the seniors, and it spun me out to see that there's so many junior girls here this weekend. It's unreal to see. So hopefully they can get some support behind them. Manufacturers keep sort of putting a little bit more in each year, and I think you'll see a lot more girls stick at it. It'll get bigger and bigger every year.
So good to see that 86 bike here today. You kind of made my day seeing you roll past. Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Good to see you here, matey. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I think very soon we're getting towards our top 10. Chloe Barton standing over there, little Miss Hollywood. Good chance to chat to another one of the young rising stars. Good chance for you to come and meet Jess and hang out because she's a bit of a legend in this sport as well. So this is little Miss Hollywood. Grab yourself a chair. Chloe, Jess, Chloe. There you go. Hey, mate, good to see you.
Hello.
How's the week been for you so far? You had a skid a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? You would have ridden your lead-up event for this?
Yeah, I raced at 1B for the SALRC.
How'd it go?
Won the women's class.
Good job. There you go. Jess is impressed. She's like, nice, or 100% is what she normally says. It's if you've done well, she'll say 100%. Now, what do you always say to Dad? This is really cool, Jess. You like this little story. I was watching because she's a little bit short at times, but what do you usually say to Dad just before you go out there on the grid?
Asked him to build me a mountain so I can reach.
So they build a little bit of dirt. So have you ever had that happen?
No, I generally stick to blocks, but we've got my KDM a little bit more lowered so I can just touch the ground, which is good.
Yeah, hashtag Dad build me a mountain. All right, what's the plan this weekend? What sort of result you looking for?
Just to finish, as it's my first senior years on the senior track.
All right, now, got to thank somebody. This is your chance. Who are you going to thank?
I'd like to say massive thanks to Dad for everything he does, my brother for his support, my sponsors, BMS Racing, Butler's Mechanical Service, Castrol, Titanium Security.
And Dad's looking. Are there any more? Have you missed anyone?
And Paint Tech.
There we go. I knew we'd get that. You need to have a photo with this legend real quick, Dad. Take a photo with these two champions right here because Jess is without a doubt one of the superstars of women's motocross. Good to see you, little Miss Hollywood. Dad, build her a mountain.
Rightio, Wade. While we got a moment, I might break in and inform everybody, including riders, who the top 10 guys are that we need for our top 10 shootout. They are from 10th to 1st. Bike number 14, Luke Stike. Bike number 500, Lachlan Terry. Bike number 2, Josh Green. Bike number 6, Jack Simpson. Bike number 7, Angus Galley. Bike number 11, Alex Bolton. Bike number 5, Nathan Trigg. Bike number 3, Lyndon Snodgrass. Bike number 1, Daniel Sanders. And bike number 4, Daniel Milner. Those 10 bikes and their riders will be required down here for the top 10 shootout, guys. So that is Milner, Sanders, Snodgrass, Trigg, Bolton, Gelly, Simpson, Green, Terry, and Stike. If you guys can please start making your way down into that chute for the top 10 shootout, and we'll be away with that very shortly, guys. That's your top 10 shootout today, which covers our over 450cc four-stroke class, our 251 to 450 four-stroke class, our and that's pretty much the two classes that are in this one. All of those riders, please make your way down shortly, guys, for the shoot for the top 10 shootout. Thank you. Well, ladies and gents, shortly we'll be starting to bring our top 10 riders down for the shootout today. And what that means is that from 11th onwards, Wade, 11th onwards, these guys are already set for their start order tomorrow, providing we don't have anything happen. So provisionally, that's where they sit. The only ones that will change potentially are the top 10, and that may jog around depending on who finishes where today. Bit of a risk, this one, because seriously, sometimes the fastest lap out is maybe the one you've just done. Or, if it's not, you get the chance to jump. But let me tell you, it gets really cutthroat in this 10. No one wants to give an inch.
And I love the way that the hardened fans know exactly where to go. Look at everyone streaming across this start area to head up on top of the hill and watch them come down at that top spot. So 10 riders only in this top 10 shootout.
What I do need to make clear to everybody, though, Wade, while we've got a moment. So all those guys up on the hill that up there, give me a wave if you can hear me. I want to see if you can wave and tell me that you can hear me up there. So give us a wave, guys. Yep. So that tells me that they all know and they're about to hear what I'm about to tell them. The racing today out on that line is purely about making sure that these guys get a great attempt to the best start possible for tomorrow. The track is theirs. It's not yours. Please stay off of it. Keep out of the way for safety's sake. And give them the right of way because it is their event this weekend. I guarantee you will see the best racing that you'll find anywhere in the country, if not within the globe, desert racing-wise, right here. The last thing we want is for that to be hindered, and we don't want that to happen. So for safety's sake, stay off the track, cheer them on, but allow them the opportunity to put their best lap out.
So it's not the World Rally Championship where you've got all these nutty Spaniards just standing right over the edge of the track.
Muppets.
These guys need to have that. They don't even need to have a split second to think about where a person is. They just want to concentrate on that line.
Correct. So I can hear a couple of bikes running in the background, and Wade, what that means is we'll see the following riders in Daniel Milner out of bike 4. The number 1 plate of Daniel Sanders, he'll be in this battle as well. The number 3 of Lyndon Snodgrass. The number 5 of Nathan Trigg. Good to see the local in Triggy there and amongst that and in that top group. Alex Bolton behind him on bike 11. Angus Gelly, number 7. The 6 of Jack Simpson. The number 2, good to see Josh Green in amongst that too. He's one of the older guys in there, and he's still having a real crack at it. Lachlan Terry on bike 500. And Luke Steik out of bike 14. So these guys will be away shortly.
It looks a lot like our top 10 list from last year when we did those intros last night, but there are a couple of notable mentions in there as well.
Correct. And good to see the likes of Luke Steik, Lachlan Terry, coming into that group. That's awesome to see. You know, Jack Simpson, we were talking to him last night about moving into what he needs to do, and certainly he's in the group there today.
So should work out how they're seated in terms of which rider that we'll see first, and we'll go 10 down to 1, which will see Steiny up first.
Well, all good top 10 shootouts are done like that. So
Absolutely.
that the last guy's got to deliver, you know. So, and at this stage of the game, you know, we're looking at the likes of Trigg, Snodgrass, then Sanders and Milner. You know, Daniel Milner, being the top guy today in time to start off with, has ridden this event, won it before, knows what's got to be done, and the heat just gets better as we go through that pack. But let me tell you, take nothing away from the guys like Bolton, Gelly, Simpson Green, Terry and Stike. These guys are quick.
So Steiny up on the line on the Yamaha. About to be your first bike out for the top 10 shootout. Penrite, a better class of oil. Bringing you Hattah for 2019. Time to set the grid for your top 10. And Luke Stein up first.
Have a look at Stike. He is pumped and ready to go. Probably a great opportunity for him to shine and show what he's about. Look at this, on the peg and on the bars, crouched down into that first turn, that right-hander, gassed up and out of town. Look at that. He is on fire at the moment up in the top half of the hills there, Wade.
Well, Luke has nothing to lose here. He's got to go after it and try and improve on that top 10. Lachlan Terry on the Katoom KTM bike up to turn 1 for the first time. What can he do? Can he improve from position 9?
Terry ridden here many times before and getting better as the event travels through. The two of Josh Green now, the probably one of the older guys, on the gas and going hard. Trust me, his time will be very fast in this 10 shootout.
Oh, look at him. How good does he look on the bike? The Yamaha looks nice. Honda, Penrite Honda. And this is Jack Simpson, without a doubt, one of the wild cards here this weekend.
Simo was a pretty awesome guy to talk to last night. He's on a mission, and he wants to state it today by getting not only in that top 10, but pushing himself further up. Don't be surprised if he moves out of 7 a little further up the field.
The maiden boys, some real characters. Angus Gelly, straight up on the pegs up to turn 1. They're currently into this. Angus was 7th, so he can fall back or go forward. So he's certainly got plenty to play for, whereas Stein was 10th no matter what.
Alex Bolton now, bike number 11, got away smartly and across the tapes beautifully and up to the top right-hander. Have a look at the speed he is carrying across that hill as he tips it into the left-hander and disappears down the other side of that sand dune.
Triggy on the Sherco. Lot of local hopes hanging on this bloke, a colourful character. Couldn't get any more laid back if he tried. What can Triggy do here this weekend on the Sherco?
Next guy away will be Lyndon Snodgrass. He was only 4 minutes off the pace last year in the big race, and he wants to move himself further up. And of course, being out of position 3 means that he wants to go up just a little further. He will deliver.
Well, this top 3 looks exactly like the top 3 in terms of the riders, not the positions in last year's event. Daniel Sanders, the big H on the side alongside the number 1 plate. Sanders, what can he do? There's only one rider to follow him, Johnny.
And that's this guy sitting on the line now, the number 4 of Daniel Milner. Previous winner here and knows what's got to be delivered. And look at the way he attacked that when he left. He needs to be at the front of the field.
What a smooth launch that was.
The thing is, what he's got to do now, Wade, which is the hardest part of the lot, is deliver a lap better than what he's just set.
Yeah, exactly right.
Big gig.
Yeah, I mean, he has everything to lose.
Absolutely. We'll wait for the times to peel through. Here's the first-year return riders.
Man, that's good to watch.
That'll be the bike of Luke Stike. Round of applause for him as he cracked through. Completed. Nicely done. Make sure no one crosses that track now, guys, while we give these guys their...
Lachlan Terry aboard. There's the 500 on the KTM. Good job from Loch. We'll check out at TuneTech Racing, number 500.
Josh Green now on the Yamaha.
Jack Simpson will be the next one through. No crossing the track, guys. No crossing the track. Simo looks quick aboard the Penrite Honda. He'll be followed in by Angus Gelly.
Well, he's the guy we're waiting on now, Wade, and he's been the charge. There's a bit of between them now. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of the top of the hill first. It is a KTM, and I might think it possibly could either be Bolton or Gelly. We'll see. It's the 7 of Gelly. So he's home. Great finish there.
Oh. Alex Bolton looked quick through that section then, didn't he? We'll see how Alex fares. He looked fast. They all look quick. It was a good ride through the last section.
Here comes the Sherco now of Nathan Trigg. Trust me, that is fast. Wow, he is on the hammer. Nathan Trigg, ladies and gents, the local boy.
They make it look so easy, don't they?
He loves it, doesn't he?
Snotty will be the next one. We'll see. Ripping through here on the 3 bike. Lyndon. How will he fare? He went into it in position 3.
Here comes the White Knight now, Daniel Sanders. And he is letting it hang loose. Have a look at this, ladies and gents.
Jeez, he was committed then, wasn't he?
He needs the finish.
Didn't look happy. Nailed the hay bales either. And he didn't look happy at all. He was shaking his head coming into that section. So not sure that he thinks that's what he needed.
Wow, rocket on rails. Daniel Milner, ladies and gentlemen, was the fastest guy in the 10 earlier. Has he put enough in the tank to do it? We wait patiently now for the final results, and they are going to be hot to see.
They looked over to the boys to see what the iPhone timer said and what kind of idea that would give them. Now, I've got the details. If you want to come back to that spot we're at before, Johnny Contract, we have the times to read out here in just a moment for you. So we've seen a couple of improvements. Certainly the top 10 system works for you or against you when you come into it. And 10th quickest will be Angus Gelly at 2:58.93. 9th quickest will be Lachlan Terry on the 500 on the KTM at 2:55.69. Luke Stike comes in 8th with a 2:54.539. Alex Bolton, position 7 with a 2:53.01. Nathan Trigg slides back to 6th with a 2:52.98. He went into it 4th. In 5th, Jack Simpson, good ride, 2:52.003. He started 8th going into it, and Josh Green moves up to position 4 with a 2:51.768. Lyndon Snodgrass ends up where he started, 3rd, 2 minutes 50.996. Also, where he started was where he finished. Daniel Sanders, 2 minutes 46.488. And please put your hands together for your winner of the top 10, Daniel Milner, 2 minutes 45.417.
Well, Wade, I'll break in for a moment. I'm down here with Daniel Milner. And Daniel, the good news is, as Wade's explained to everybody, a 2 minute 45.417, which only gives you a separated difference between yourself and Sanders of 1:07. That's 1.07 seconds. Mate, you were certainly on fire out there today.
Yeah, I mean, the track definitely changed from the first time we went around. It got them choppy bumps and everything, and had a few loose moments, just like what I guess the other boys would have had too. Like it's one of them tracks that, yeah, when we get out there first, obviously at the start of the day, it's nice and smooth, and then, yeah, for what it changes to. But I'm absolutely stoked. Yeah, my bike was unreal. I definitely can't, thank the team enough for the effort that they put.
And it's going to drain every one of those guys out there, but it's really that rhythm and just continually charging through it. There is no rest tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, I've had a good look at the track, tomorrow's track, and it's tightened up a lot considering, the previous years that I've rode it. And on the positive side, we've had rain, so there's a lot of moisture out there, and the track's going to get really deep and roll and whoop. So, completely different to last year where it was dry and hard pack and square edgy a lot. I think this year's going to be, the last hour's really going to hurt everyone, that's for sure.
This track is the sort of track that changes every year. It never delivers you an easy circuit ever, this place, does it?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's crazy because we come up here and set our bike up for, the previous year, and then you go into a complete different Hattah race. So, yeah, it is hard to get your bike right for it, and that's the thing, you got to try to ride as similar conditions as, the track's going to be. And, yeah, I mean, we've done one-day testing leading up to this event, so hopefully that's enough.
Well, mate, all the very best tomorrow. I know that you've got great preparation for yourself. A big open talk to the guys here to say, hopefully tomorrow's a good day for everyone out there and a safe day, but we'll be certainly looking forward to talking to the right guys at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck to everyone out there and enjoy it. This is one of the most enjoyable races in the world, so yeah, get out there and have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Milner, great guy, really put the delivered results on the board today. Anything can change here, and we've seen that happen in the past. What an amazing event and start to the event we've had today, last night, and looking forward to tomorrow. Rightio, junior guys, quick warning out in the junior area where the pits are. We're about to take you through the pit area, and we will be travelling with the four-wheeler at the recommended top speed, no faster than 25 kilometres an hour. So that means two things. As a competitor, you'll be following that machine and you will understand how fast 25 kilometres an hour is. You are not, and I repeat it, not to breach that. There will be guys watching. If you are seen to be in breach of that, you will be talking to Jeff Gunn, or vice versa, he'll be talking to you, and it won't be a pretty conversation, all right? So be warned, 25 or under is okay. Above that, you'll have problems. Secondly, that pit area now will start to become part of the racetrack. I do not want anyone in that area that should not be in there. And for your safety, the safety of the riders, and the safety of the event, you are not to be in that area. So those people that are moving across the track, if you are a spectator, I would suggest you do that pretty quickly because we are keen to get this underway. So move quickly, get to the other side, stay out of the pit area. If you are not supposed to be in that area, make sure you move out of it, all right? It's really clear. I can't make it any clearer. Out of the pit area. Give the guys racing today the opportunity to actually race their event, all right? That's what I'm after. 25 kilometre an hour speed limit and clear the pit, please. Thank you. Rightio. Small wheel class only to follow this four-wheeler at the 25km/h mark, mate. Small wheel class only to follow this four-wheeler at the 25km/h mark through the pit area. I'll call for the big wheels in a little while, okay? So small wheel class only through the pits behind the four-wheeler at 25km/h. Rightio, spectators, a couple of minutes grace to get yourself where you need to be before we start sending that four-wheeler through. Please make sure, as spectators, you are adhering to what is about to unfold. From here on in, it is the event proper for the small wheel class, who will be racing on it shortly. Please make sure you give way to those guys. It is their event. Curbs, can you just stop there in that four-wheeler, mate? Just stop right where you are, Curbs. Riders, please stay where you are for the time being. We won't want you yet. Just stay right where you are in your pit area, guys, please. Don't forget, ladies and gents, Mad Dog's here this weekend. Mad Dog Images. They're taking shots of all the guys out on the track. If you're chasing anything out of the portfolio he'll take over the weekend, you need to track him down on Mad Dog Images on Facebook. Log on and search Mad Dog Images on Facebook. That'll connect you to him. I reckon it's a $30 package he usually does each year. I think this year it will be still the $30 for the package. All you need to do is make contact with Mad Dog Images via Facebook, and that'll line you up with the packages that he puts together for the weekend. Pretty awesome. He takes so many shots over the weekend from juniors and seniors. and it's a great chance to grab some exclusive images of your racing here this weekend. Mad Dog Images on Facebook, search it, you'll find it. It's really easy to hit and really easy to spell. Mad Dog. Rightio in the pit area, be aware. In a little while we'll have a sweep bike going through that pit area. When that sweep bike goes through, that will be the last vehicle through the pit area before we send the four-wheeler at the 25km/h mark. Okay, we'll give you a holler before that, but shortly you'll see that sweep rider that'll travel through. Be aware, when that sweep rider goes through, there is no one else to follow except for the four-wheeler that will take you out. Please make sure in that pit area it is clear and all of the competitors get an opportunity to do what they have to do. Spectators, last call for you to move before we actually start the event today, guys. Make sure you adhere to the rules. Anyone found flaunting them won't be tolerated. And we will have discussions with you, okay? It is their event for the rest of the day. Please give them the right of way to enjoy the competition the way it should be. Rightio, guys, competitors, please make sure you understand this bit as well. When you come out after the lap to the starting grid, all bikes are to be wheeled. Dead engines, bikes wheeled to your starting grid, okay? So you'll head off around the track, but when you come back after refuel and last adjustments, dead engines and bikes to be wheeled to the starting grid without the engine running, guys. Well, what an amazing top 10 shootout we saw today with our guys tearing away Wade. It was an amazing thing to watch. These guys challenge one another out there for the potential to leapfrog. Some of the guys actually made some great ground. We talk about Josh Green. He went from position 8 to position 4. What an awesome jump for him. Jack Simpson went from 7 to 5, moved up 2. Unfortunately, and also one of the movers was Luke Stike, who went from position 8 to 10. Again, another 2 going up. Unfortunately for a couple of guys, like Nathan Trigg went from number 4 to 6, so he dropped 2 placings. Also, Alex Bolton went from position 5 to 7, and Angus Gelly went from position 6 to 10. Unfortunately, Wade, a couple of drops with some of these guys, but all in all, not a lot of change really at the top end of the order.
Just going to say that, but I like the fact that you have to roll the dice.
Correct.
And someone exactly like position 10 going into it, you've got Strike, he had nothing to lose.
Everything
in fact,
to win.
everything to gain. It was the guys at the top, it was Chucky and Zando and Lyndon that had the most to lose.
And of course the guys in the midfield, which typically always is where there's the most activity moving up or down. You know, I mean, I look at, we spoke about Josh Green as an example. You know, he came in at 8 and went up to 4. And we spoke about this guy, how the consummate professionalism shows with it. Even though there's a bit of age with this guy, he is still out there to contend. And to move up 4 placings from 8 to 4, that's what you're after.
Oh, hell yeah. It's another 4 bikes you don't have to pass in that initial launch. I was looking across too at the pit base too, John. Some people take a lot of pride in the way that they present their pit bay. Down the very end, the KTM privateer down the end actually has a couch.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think somewhere back at the lounge room there's a couch missing, but what a great way to lay out. We're right across the road here from the Indulge Apartments. Guys who always turn out a great looking effort, and Sarah's usually got the profiteroles and the pikelets and all sorts of stuff. There's always...
okay, you know that by experience,
Well,
obviously.
no, I've been watching on Facebook that every time they go away racing, the Indulge team, she rolls out these incredible homemade cookies and all sorts of stuff. So not a bad spot to drop by later on, Johnny.
That's what I'm saying.
Just saying. Hey, really cool to have some WA teams here as well.
It is, you know, and I think that the beauty of that for me is that the message obviously is getting out, but people see this event in such stature that they have to or want to attend it. And there's a big commitment to do that, you know, the finances that you've got to use to come over and go back and all the bits that go with it. There's all the on costs of running it, but you still got to travel, accommodation, all the rest of it.
Gunny's looking like he's got something important.
Rightio, guys. Rightio, guys. Important message in that pit area. If you're not needed in there, you better vacate now. We're about to send the sweep bike through, and I made it clear earlier, this will be the last opportunity for these people after this. So the sweep bike will go through shortly. Then the track will have, or the section of track there will have the four-wheeler going through at the 25 km/h mark. So important now, the pit area has to be cleared. I've got the sweep bike going through now, which means that after that, it'll be the four-wheeler at the 25 km/h mark. And the bikes will come straight up behind the back of that four-wheeler, okay? So clear it now, guys. The track is now being taken over by our competitors as our sweep bike travels through. The next vehicle you see will be the four-wheeler, and all of the small wheel class for our juniors this weekend will follow behind that.
Yeah, Johnny, it goes one step further with the West Australian team, and Shannon was just reminding me too, they've got Motorcycling WA have actually kitted out their pit base, so they've got some great support. There's a bunch of sandgropers over, and Jess Moore I count as a West Aussie, though she lives in Sydney these days aboard the KTM. So that's the kind of support. If you got MAWA behind you, that's a good thing.
But that's the stature of the event,
Correct.
though, Wade. That's really what it is. It's such an event that you really need to ride it at some stage, and when you do, you hook.
And how good is this surface? It's amazing. It's nice and loamy. We've had a bit of rain just recently, and mate, almost anyone can get the whole shot on here. I might even be able to get the whole shot for the first 5 metres. Just mint, isn't it? Track is in really good nick. I was talking to Reedy. Is there anything Ken doesn't do around here? He's on the Kubota out there before grading the track as well, and it was interesting to watch a couple of the boys come in. In fact, our two leaders, Milne and Sando, both unhappy body language when they came through, like, nah, that's not enough.
Yeah,
and it was.
I think they probably thought that there's the amount that they could grab out of it, but it's the old story, you know, with this event, particularly where they were on this prologue section, There's so many parts to it. You've got to get every one of them right. And unfortunately, you miss the odd corner or the odd piece. That
it adds up.
Everybody's doing the same thing. I wouldn't believe there's been anyone today that's pulled the perfect lap out there.
Well, and that's the cool part about tomorrow. You've got a whole lot of time to make up the time. And
Correct.
pit stops become absolutely critical. And we saw that. We saw an infringement in the pits last year that was critical, didn't we?
We did, and I think we also...
we had the cameras right there at that time too. It was a fluke.
I spoke to the guys last night about the fact that I thought I might have mozzed the boys last year, because we actually were there on the spot where we spoke about, now watch this bike come in and watch how quick these guys work on it and what they do.
Yeah.
And then it didn't go again. And poor old Daniel Milner was basically left there to go, you know, what happens now? So, yeah, he'll make amends for that this year. Don't worry about that.
Look at this.
Trust me, Sanders will not give it up.
Oh, absolutely. This is what it's all about. Small wheels, little wheels are out, and have a listen. You can hear on the throttle the enthusiasm. The kids are ready to have at it. A quick look lap for them, and then we'll get after it. For the small wheels, they'll do their quick look lap, then we'll have the big wheels to come.
Quick shout out for either Melissa or John Hedricks. If you could start making your way out to the start area, please. That's either Melissa or John Hedricks. Could you please make your way out to the start area, please? And if either one of you are coming, you better bring your helmets with you, guys. So Melissa or John Hedricks, if you can start making your way out to the start area with your helmet, be greatly appreciated. Don't forget, guys, when we go down the path of coming out to the start area, it will be dead engines, okay? You have to wheel your bikes out.
Probably not up the hill, because I'll leave that to Jack. Yeah, maybe, but yeah, towards the tail of it, yeah.
Better go. Go on, kids.
Big thanks also this weekend, Wade, must go to the team at Decentralised Demountables who have come on board to be part of the action here this weekend. We've got a number of different sponsors that have helped us in different facets. And of course, Decentralised Demountables are one of the groups that's come on board this year, and great to have them on board.
Well, I mean, it's critical. You need to create positions of calm and quiet and isolation and out of the conditions. And that's what those guys have done for us absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big thank you to the team there for their involvement here this weekend.
Can't wait for tomorrow. I know we've got the kids to get after it today, but I'm already starting to think there's nothing that prepares you if you haven't seen it before for the start tomorrow. How many riders is there? 300 or something like that on that?
I think we're touching more closer towards the four a bit. So, you know, it's incredible to watch them get away.
And it's such a smooth system. You never see anyone drop it or hit the quad or anything like that. It's quite remarkable.
And you saw it for the first time last year. It's incredible to watch, isn't it?
And, you know, I think I saw Lee Adams do that last weekend or the weekend before. Lee was on the quad and got to start one of those races. But nothing prepares you for the start of the Penrite, a better class of oil, Hattah Desert Race than seeing it for the first time. It's just like, wow, how does that work?
Absolutely. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. But again, we'll do the same sort of thing here with these guys. But tomorrow, yep, in much bigger numbers.
Now, it's a 4-hour race, and you think to yourself, why does it matter so much to be in the top 10? Surely over 4 hours and 8 laps, you're going to work it out. You know, everything you push for just then, but the reality is you get that smooth groove. You're not chewing on someone's roost. You're not having to worry about riding anyone else's line but the one that you want. So the elite level, it does make that difference.
Oh, and I think it's also a psychological advantage too, because you know you're in that group, and to fall out of that group means you've actually got to be losing time. And providing you're sustaining those laps at a time means you're not losing anything. If anything, you're hoping that somebody else, like we saw last year, falls by the wayside a bit. And if that happens in the wash of it, you're not really watching that. No. You're just sustaining your own timing. At the end of the day, actually pulling your head out of it and going, where did I end, you know? The guys on the pit crews can provide some description in those pit stops, but you and I both know a lot changes in one lap, let alone 8 of the things.
You smash down a bit of energy, a quick drink, and
Correct.
Boom, you're straight back out there. It's an amazing, amazing system. If you've never been to this race before, and even if it's your 10th Hattah, it still never gets not cool.
Correct. And the only thing that doesn't change is the mental and physical strain that you put on yourself.
And I was glad you mentioned it last night. You know, still one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen in any form of motor racing was the winner to run over and help someone. There was no relationship between him and that guy either. They weren't mates. It wasn't like, I'll give my mate a hand. It was a complete humanitarian volunteer job.
He felt it. He's been there, okay? So there's nothing more than knowing it firsthand and actually delivering it. And you know what? Somewhere out there's a guy who finished Hattah because this guy helped
Because
him.
the winner pushed him across the line.
This guy helped him.
That's a great story.
It is. And unless you were here, you wouldn't have seen it. Okay?
Now, obviously that's legal, right?
Yeah, well, he's got to get it across the line, okay? So the help was just enough to...
Either way, the emotion of it was phenomenal.
And it wasn't like someone had hopped the fence to do it, okay?
No.
So...
No, and you're not going to have a bloke that's being pushed go past you on the last corner. That would be demoralising, wouldn't it? Imagine that. You're up on the cross space, you look over, and there's the winner pushing some other guy past you. You got to give up motorbike racing if that's you, don't you? Go, nah, that's it. This is not my sport.
But such are the legends that Hattah provides us.
Key or a screwdriver or a coin or whatever you got. Those extra stuff on it, it's kind of flopping it out there. 5 center, too small. There we go. You have
bit of Slim Dusty with Pub No Beer. You'd never, ever see the Nangelock Tavern that way. I went out to the Nangie Tavern, took my son Liam out there. I heard so much about it. Thought I got to go out and check it out. It is just a great little Aussie pub. Out the back, you wouldn't think there's that much out there, but there's some cool stuff.
No, it is a pretty amazing joint, it really is. And we've been so fortunate to be connected with those guys for quite some time as well. So the Mays family have been great to us out there. So thank you so much, Nangelock Tavern, for your involvement over the journey of the years that we've been running this great event.
Big Wheels coming out for their look lap now.
Out there, and then so I think for kids that come where those barriers are, where those people are standing just there, straight through up the hill. Which means this camera, all these cables here, unless this is. Oh yeah, so Jackie will get that. The side of there, and up, Headphones on. I'm ready for finish shots. Okay.
Johnny, I'm just going to grab a couple of these kids nice and early. I like he's got on the back Coey the camel man. Okay, Chapman is down here at the moment aboard the Chapman Racing Katoom. He's got the GoPro on the front. He's down here nice and early. How are you, champ?
Good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
How was the look lap, mate?
Pretty hard.
Yeah, fair enough. How are you expected to go? Have you got a goal in mind of how you think you're going to go?
Yeah, to get in the top 10.
Good answer. Now, I'm sure you got some people you want to thank. Who do you want to thank? Mum or dad or anything like that? You got some sponsors you want to say thanks to?
Cody Coleman, John Co, 812 History, Mum and Dad, and
Yeah, check the back of the bike.
Zip Print.
I knew you'd find them back there somewhere. Mate, I'm pretty sure you're not going to keep... See, he's got the bottle of water in the front there. Pretty sure you don't keep that there, right?
Yeah.
All right, mate, well, good luck. What position, 25?
Yeah.
That was just a rough guess then. That was a bit of a lucky guess. Obviously, Dad's over there. Everyone's pumped about it. Good luck today, buddy.
Thank you.
Good job, mate. 25, I knew that. Surely because he had it written on the side of it. I'll rip down here to the Beaton's Pro Formula 128. How are you, champion?
Good.
What's your name, buddy?
Balin.
Correct. Well done. Where are you from, mate?
One Thaggy.
Oh, one Thaggy, rightio. So, clearly you've qualified pretty well. How you feeling? What's your goal today? You going to go for the win?
Try to.
All right, mate. Hey, just say yes. Positivity. All right, so who do you want to thank? I'm sure you got some sponsors and people you want to say thanks to.
Mum, Dad, Marriott's Motorcycles, Beaton's Pro Formula, and Cruise Tune Suspension.
Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
Go hard. I'm pretty sure that this is not Ned. Mate, where is Ned, by the way?
Coming soon, hopefully.
So he's over Snapchatting or something like that? Do you want to thank anybody on Ned's behalf?
Oh, probably his mum and dad, and Fergs and Slim.
It's always a safe answer to thank Mum and Dad. This I saw Levi's outfit before. This is the junior effort. This is one of the coolest looking outfits that we have here this weekend. How are you, mate?
Good.
What's your name, buddy?
Levi.
I thought that. Levi who?
Rossi.
Hey, it's a legendary last name. You got a cool first name. You're decked out. No matter whether you win or lose, you're a star in my eyes, mate. How long have you been riding?
I think 5 years.
Fair enough. Where's home for you, Levi?
Australia in Adelaide.
Australia and Adelaide. Fair enough. Mate, what position are we starting out of here?
89th.
Mate, you can do this. Go for the win, mate. Go hard.
Okay.
Levi Rossi, how cool's that? How good does the gear look? Right alongside him aboard the Katoom. We'll jump in here as well. How are you, mate?
Good.
What's your name?
Blake.
Blake who?
Brown.
Blake Brown. It's an easy name to remember. You should have remembered that. Brownie, who do you want to thank? Mate, I'm sure there's probably a few people, I don't know, near you at the moment you want to thank.
Dad, Mom.
Any sponsors on the bike I should be looking at? I see Shift on board. Is that just the sticker kit? Where you from, buddy?
General.
Fair enough. All right, you going for the win?
Maybe.
Maybe? Maybe's not the answer we want. When I say, I'll ask that question again. You going for the win?
Yeah.
That's better. It's even less letters than yes. In fact, we should say Optus, because that means yes. All right? That's a great looking little outfit, the little Levi's gear. And his last name's Rossi. Got to be fast, Johnny.
Absolutely, 2 wheels and quick. Yeah, it's incredible to see some of these kids down here and the mums and dads doing what they need to do to make sure that they're supporting them. And of course, a lot of them have travelled a long distance to be with us this weekend. We really enjoy the fact that those clubs are coming down and being part of what is the greatest, or what we feel one of the greatest desert races in the country. And Wade, it's amazing to catch up with not only the guys, but some of the girls that are involved in the sport as well.
I'm just hanging out with Sinead. Me and Sinead, we're just chilling. Come around this way, Mike. I want you to show you what's on the cross brace here, just here. What does that say for me, Sinead?
Stand up and right here.
That's right. So it means always up on the pegs and make sure you're always in the right gear. Did I guess that right?
Yeah.
All right. Whereabouts are you from, Sinead?
Wallen.
Whereabouts?
Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. Fair enough. That's all right. All right. So what position are you starting out of?
86.
86th. So you only got to pass 85 riders and you got this.
And the really cool part about this one that people may or may not know, but this is part of the Simford racing team. And Simford are an incredible group of guys that come up here every year. They support juniors and seniors, and they give kids an opportunity to race that sometimes haven't got the chance to do it, okay? And the Simford team do an amazing job. They are probably, if not one of the biggest teams that are not factory-backed, that look after kids like all manner of riders out here, senior and juniors.
Was that Bernie last night from Simford doing the wheel change?
Correct, yeah, that was him as well. So the Simford team are pretty solid in desert racing, and we do thank them for having the foresight to actually connect with some of these kids and give them the chance. I think it's an incredible story, and great that you picked this one because that's an awesome example of what's going on with
So
the
it
Simford
says
team.
stand up right gear. Good luck, mate. 85 bikes. Just past them all, Sinead. First lap, no
You go
problems.
get 'em, love.
I'm going to roll right over here. This would be Jackson. This is just a lucky guess. Now look at this. This is the right. More information here, Michael. I'm putting you under pressure here, buddy. What does that say, Jackson?
Send it, gears, and clutch.
Now I'm used to seeing send it. What does the gears and clutch deal mean? What's that telling you?
Well, mostly when you're going up hills, like when you're bogging, you use a clutch. And then gears just to change down in corners.
Fair enough. That's fairly important, right? Whereabouts are you from, buddy?
Melbourne.
We're in Melbourne. All right, favourite footy team. Is that easier?
Collingwood.
Oh, that's the end of your interview. Sorry, mate. Bad luck about last night. How are you, champion? What's your name?
Hamish.
Hamish. That's a cool name. I like that, Hamish. Just looking around here. Hambo. That's your nickname.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Where's your message? You don't have stand up, right gear, all that stuff. You don't have a message?
Don't need one.
Oh, that's the kind of attitude I like. Don't need one. Where are we about? Position 88 or something? 87?
83rd.
83rd. So only 82 riders in front of you. You got this, Hambo.
Yeah.
Who do you want to thank, buddy?
Just mom and dad and all my sisters for helping me get here.
All your sisters. How many sisters you got?
2.
Are they older or younger?
Older.
Oh, so they're always going to look after you. Go get them, Hambo. Good luck to you, buddy. Ooh, Archer's got a nice looking ride. I like the sticker, kid. Very sweet. 81-ish, 2-ish, something like that. Good?
Yeah.
All right, mate, whereabouts you from?
Mildura.
Good boy. Mildy boy. How you feeling, mate? How was your prologue and how was your look lap? You all feeling good?
Yeah.
Tell me some people you want to thank.
I'd like to thank mum and dad.
Any of your sponsors you want to mention or mum and dad? I see you got Mototech on your bike.
No, I don't have any sponsors.
All right, mate, you got the Mototech kit, so that's the good news. Good on your mum and dad. They're your sponsors.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate. Good luck to you.
Hey, Wade, I'm going to jump in for a moment.
Go.
I'm right up the front end of the stack here, and I want to have a chat to Lockie, who's starting out of the number 1 plate. So we'll just wait for our camera to get here. And, of course, these guys are at the sharp end of the field. This is our first guy away in our small wheel class today. And, Lockie, mate, pretty solid effort today to get to where you are through all of our prologuing and the like. First bike away means that you get probably the clean air and the good track to start off with, but anything can happen. And these guys behind you, they are all solid and want to take it away from you, mate. So you've got a job in front of you.
Yeah, they're all fast, and this year I just want to finish. That's my goal, just to finish this year and hopefully win.
And are you hailing from, sorry, so people don't know, you hail out of which area, mate?
Golgo, just like in Mildura, just over the river.
And that, of course, is local here. What that means, though, for us is that it's a great opportunity for a local kid to have a real crack at it. And it's not going to be easy, but I also hear that you've got quite a few supporters in the pit area. Is there anyone you want to thank that's actually helped you out so far, mate?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my mum and dad, Tristan and Sue from Smart Earthworks, and everyone that helps them and the team. It's been awesome, and everyone else. Control Factory, Smarty, if you need some suspension done and some motor work, just go to him. He's awesome, and yeah, thank you.
And, of course, Golgol, full of heroes over there. They're all superstars, mate. And, of course, over in that area, hails one of the great dirt bike legends for over the years, John Hedricks, who did a lot of safari work and an enduro sort of line as well. So it's great to have you over here and hopefully have one of the locals at the front of the field today. We wish you all the very best, Lockie.
Thank you very much.
Johnny, we've got to get an urgent message out, mate. We need the bikes on the line. We're still missing a number of riders that we need to hurry up because we need to get started. So bikes and riders, you need to be out here. Now, check this out, Mike. I was wondering what the postman, I thought maybe the kid's name is Pat, right? That would seem to make sense. But no, his name's Max. Why do they call you the postman, Max? I can't believe this.
Because when I first started, I was really slow.
So you're like as slow as the postman delivering the mail?
Yep.
Dude, that's bullying, Dad. That's not encouraging, that's bullying. But you're faster now, mate. What position are you starting out of, Maxie?
10th.
Hey, that's a good start. You got to be happy with that.
Pretty.
Is her name. She comes from Parks. Danielle, great to have you here, love.
Yeah.
What an awesome race this is. I mean, all these junior kids come to race and it's just all the colours and stuff, and there's no pressure. It's just about riding and finishing this race, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, you've got a number of people you want to thank. Who would you like to thank for bringing you all this way?
My mum and dad and my sponsors and my mechanic.
Good on you, well done. Danielle's really keen to get the action on today, and I know that all the girls will be behind her. All the very best. She's no slouch to be in this group here on that Yammy, mate. She is a bit of a gun. So.
Mate, how about the postman?
Yeah.
What kind of a nickname is that?
Oh, mate, that's probably good compared to some of them, I think. So,
I guess.
Yeah.
So we need all riders on the line. If you're not already, there's still a couple of gaps that we need to fill. We're about to go here shortly.
And the reason we've been holding Wade also is the fact that we've got our big wheel class guys coming back. They've had the bigger track to roll through, and they'll go park in the pit area and wait patiently until we've actually got these guys finished for the day. But really important that everybody gets a fair start. So if you are a small wheel class rider and you are not lined up, you need to do that straight away, guys. We're only minutes away from kicking you off. And I can see, Wade, there are some holes still in places, which means we've got riders that are missing. So you need to get over here quickly, guys, because very shortly we'll light the fuse on this banger and we'll let them go.
Mate, with a name like Cannon, you'd have to be fast, Jake, right? Not a bad name, not a bad racing name, buddy. All right, mate, I know you got lots of people to thank. You're out of P2, so obviously your prologue was pretty tough. So you only got one guy to pass. Is it all right if he passes you? He actually said, I don't know. So that means you got him mentally already. He's already worried about you. Cano, what's the plan, mate?
To try and pace myself and, yeah.
Pace yourself. I don't often hear motorbike riders say that. It's a very intelligent way to approach it, Cano. Who do you want to thank, mate? And where's home for you?
Over Sunny Coast.
That's a fair old haul for you.
Yeah.
This your first time? How many times have you ridden Hattah?
This is my first time.
What do you reckon so far? I mean, you've only done the prologue and your look lap, but do you do many races this kind of length up there?
No.
Mate, P2 is a hell of an effort. Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Yamaha Junior Racing Team, Dad, bringing me down here, all that counting and then coming back down.
Go get him, Cannon. Hopefully you'll be shot out of a gun, mate. And don't worry about this bloke. He's already said it's okay if you pass him.
And to marry up the three in the grid before we get to Danielle, of course, is this guy, Jackson Verstegen, and has come down to be part of the action here this weekend. And Jackson, you come from a long way out of town, don't you? Where are you hail from, buddy?
Perth, WA.
All the way out of Perth and WA. This guy is a gun. Trust me, keep your eye on this bike, the 436. He'll pilot this all the way through today and be right in that top echelon of this small wheel class. Jackson, who do you need to thank for the weekend, buddy, so far?
Mum, Dad, my sponsors, and everyone in the pits.
What about the guys from the Northwest Victoria Motorcycle Club for putting on this great event?
Yeah, that too.
Absolutely. All the very best, Jacko. Of course, Jackson Verstegen will be heading out to do his part in the small wheel class for the 2019 Penrite